So, first question for the reflection is what finally made me start? Why did I start doing this? Why did I start the 30 days? So, the first thing I want to talk about, the reason why I started the first 30 days is I felt stagnant. I felt like I wasn't moving. I felt like everything was happening to me instead of for me. I was stuck in this, like, I felt like I was in a box where I wasn't doing the things I wanted to do. And this is one of the things I wanted to do for a long time. And when I started getting my first camera, the camera I'm on right now here, I was like, I knew I wanted to record myself doing something exciting and doing something I'm passionate about, but I didn't know what it was yet at that time. And I think when I did my first recording for gratitude, I was excited about that and I was happy that I was doing it. And then the more I used it, the more I use my camera rather, I get excited just to record things just in general, just, using my camera. The first camera I had, I was so happy to be able to use it. And then I got the second camera, which is what you're seeing me here use. And the second camera kind of opened up more opportunities and more people to meet, and it was honestly it was a great experience. So for me, it wasn't a big moment that got me started. It was more like small increment moments to get me here to start this 30-day project. And the 30-day project, the monk mode, it was essentially, I just got tired of feeling stuck, waiting to feel ready to make it perfect. I knew that nothing's going to be perfect anyway. I'm going to be learning throughout the whole process and get better at what I'm doing, my craft right now. And the fact that I press record, got a little bit of equipment, a little setup where I'm able to continuously actually talk into the mic. I'm happy I'm able to do that as well. So that's one of the few things as well. Maybe you know that feeling too, like something inside of you that's asking for more, and you have a passion that you want to achieve, you want to do something with that time. And yeah, you can too, find something that you like, you're passionate about, and start that process, whatever it may be. So what would happen if I started before the fear caught up? So that's one of the questions I know I may get as well. So what would happen if the fear caught up and before I even started? So how would that feel for me? So it would probably be like the same thing over and over where like I wake up, work, go to the gym, and hang out with friends and not do something that I'm actually really passionate about. So the fact that now I have one more thing where I'm able to enjoy even more in life, it excites me to wake up and get started and get my day started to and it kind of creates like a energy where I'm able to express myself too. So it helps me more actually. So day two for the reflection. So the goal here is for me to reflect on each particular day from day one to day nine. So essentially from day one to day nine, I'll be able to kind of give you my take on why I chose those 9 days where I talk about certain aspects, and I'm gonna give you my take on each of those, like my personal feeling of these. So day two, the mask. So the mask, this is something I think we all can relate on. Honestly, we use it all the time. The mask is something we wear just surface level. It could be in any circumstances. You're set up in this idea of having a mask, and you're not being authentic to yourself and to people around you. So yeah, so after reflecting on what what happened in, in the entire process of recognizing I was wearing a mask, I instead of talking, I stopped more. I didn't really react emotionally to everything that's happening, mostly because I knew that there's need to like bring myself to that level. Going back to the mask, I think professionally, like polite, put together, I think it's important still to have a level of respect for someone you're talking to, regardless if you're wearing a mask or not. That's just common decency. But if we're talking about what's underneath the mask, if you are trying to say or reflect on something, if you're trying to say something to somebody and you're confused as to what to say, you want to make sure you're saying something that's true to you, not because the person tried to convince you to say it. So, and I find that growing up, I did a lot of that where like I let somebody kind of like convince me like this is a good idea, let's go here, or like this is a fantastic idea, we should, we should go to this event or just go gallivanting somewhere, right? But I find that now my time is much more valuable because I'm doing these videos and I'm doing this 30-day challenge. And I think even throughout my whole life from now on, because I'm engaging in YouTube, I'll be able to actually enjoy this process of growing more because this is just me and you, you know? Yeah. So mask I catch myself wearing the most, I think the mask I find I use the most is the mask where I'm thinking something like, and I try not to say it because I don't want to be rejected. So it could be a new person, being a new person. It could be an idea that I have in my head that I want to engage in with somebody, and I don't engage. So a lot of that currently right now, I still kind of have that aspect of me where I'm like I don't want to say everything, but I think because when I meet someone new, I want to be able to make sure I know that person deeply before I engage in a actual conversation at that level. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, I'm not sure, but I'm working on that and I'm learning throughout the process right now. So, and who might I become if I let go of that mask? I think I probably will seek faster opportunities for growth if I were to let that go. So I'm kind of excited to let that go and from now on, being it's day 10 and I'm continuously learning my craft and my communication skills with folks. I'd be able to definitely hone in on that and use that to my advantage and say what I want to say, whether it's a opportunity or whether it's a conversation. Say what I want to say more often and work on conducting those phrases or creating those phrases to make it more authentic. Something of that nature. So day 3, the promise. What's the promise you made to yourself and actually you kept? So what's that promise? So there's a lot of little promises that I've taken throughout my life, and one of those promises I think I find myself keeping is the 30 days. So the monk mode challenge, it kind of forced me to stay consistent and having other folks around me as well to be there for my consistency also. So I'm excited for finishing the 30 days, but I'm also excited for every single day throughout this particular project to see how well I do and how well I stay up to date. So it's so far day 10, it's been pretty good. I appreciate the support, guys. Thanks so much. So small promises I break to myself, I still do it, by the way. So I'm working on this continuously. I say I'm gonna, achieve a full day where I'm able to do all these different tasks and I don't get all the tasks done. Either because I'm overthinking the idea or like I'm not in the kind of the mood to do it or like whatever the case may be. So there's a lot of that. So for now, I my goal is to kind of notice that this is happening as opposed to just accepting it's happening. Notice it's happening and take a mental note and see if I really did whatever I could have for that particular day. Did I really achieve as much as I can for that day? And if I didn't achieve as much as I can for that day, coach myself through that process as opposed to criticize. Like, okay, like you did this, you did this. Okay, cool. So let's see where we could have done a bit better this way and so forth. And like appreciate the good things you've done too, and like recognize that. Like when you're giving yourself feedback, you want to make sure you give your good feedback first, and then give yourself a bad feedback. So that way, when you're outlining it, just even in general for folks as well, when you're outlining it, it comes from a place of encouragement. So yeah, I'll start tomorrow. I'll show up. After that, you be able to actually do that. So coaching yourself throughout the day and seeing what you've done, good and bad, it helps you a lot as well. So this challenge reminded me every time I kept my word and I rebuilt my self-respect. So it definitely does, and it's the best part about this, by the way. It's this particular aspect is where you're talking to someone or you're doing a task and you can reflect back on these videos, say, you know what, hey, like I talked about this, and it's actually heartwarming to feel that you're actually progressing in that sense where the 30 days or even the like whatever day I can refer to, I'm actually using that to my advantage to actually grow and to help others grow as well. So that's what gets me going. So yeah. So what's one promise I could keep this week just to remind myself that I can? So many different ones, but the one that stands out the most is, commit to the next 10 days. Well, next 20 days, because I fully committed to 30 anyways. So, so commit to the next 10 days, plus the next 10 days after that. And, this arc, this 10-day arc here, I was able to kind of really catch on some great aspects as well and grow. So I really appreciate doing this monk mode. I feel like I want to do it again, but let's start with the first 30 and get our way out from the 30 and then get to the next one. Maybe we could do another 30. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, 30 days. That's the promise I can continuously think about, and I'm consistently staying on that path no matter what. So day 4, the pattern. So what loop am I stuck in? So I am still in this overthink loop. Like I'm still on that, and I know that because I I find myself like overthinking processes, or even like this edit. You'll see like I probably will take a lot of effort into this edit and time to make sure it looks perfect. But honestly, it's what's relevant and to the video, and I'll work on that. But going back to what loop am I stuck in? So yeah, so the overthink loop is big for me right now. And because of that, I keep ending in the same situations where the videos don't are not good enough, or I think they're not good enough. But obviously, it's like a long-term process. You get better as you go. So yeah. So in terms of situations, emotionally, creatively, and relationships, I think we can talk about emotional aspect. I think my emotional pattern is a lot better than before. I think during COVID, I don't know, I could speak for myself. I'm not sure about you guys, but I noticed that I was a bit more down during COVID, and at least in the beginning and afterwards, when I started working out and I created kind of a whole gym in the basement for myself, where I was able to kind of start working out and get into the exercises, I was able to be more emotionally present. So yeah, creatively, with creativity, I I believe that yeah, same overthink loop, because we're talking about YouTube here as well, and in life also to explore creativity. Yeah, relationships. Yeah, like just and I feel relationships. If you look at life, it's you're building yourself a foundational relationship with one person. That's important, but you also have different relationships, like family relationships. And I think over the time of COVID, the people who were surrounded by me, I valued them even more. Like I appreciated things a bit more, you know? And, you know, it was a big change for me because I think I felt more, I took people for granted a lot growing up, because in my 20s, I didn't see them. I wasn't, like, I guess you could say the Grateful Steve wasn't fully present, right? But yeah, I think I took people for more granted. But now I appreciate people, even conversation, even small things, a lot more. You know, it's not to say that I didn't appreciate folks back then. It's just now I'm more aware of that appreciation. You know what I mean? So, yeah, yeah. So, have I ever caught myself in a loop and realized I was a common dominator? Yeah, probably. I definitely hurt people, and I was definitely one of the person who was stuck in a loop. And I think it's that time when I was stuck on those in those loops. I I wasn't aware I was destroying, not creating. I was literally destroying my surroundings and the people around me, and I think I was contributing to destruction as opposed to creation, which is not me anymore. I want to create, build a compelling future for myself and the people around me, and the surrounding as well. Day five, the standard. So, who are you measuring yourself against? Instead of looking sideways, I used to do a lot of that. Now I am measuring myself against myself. So from yesterday to today, like what did I do yesterday to become better? And then what can I add to today or change today to become better today? So that's really my measuring tool. Like I am my own hero 10 years from now. So like 5 years ago, I wanted something and that particular thing happened already. So and I manifested it. So that's essentially what this is all about, you know. You start something. Like 5 years ago, I definitely wanted to do this whole video. Like I wanted to do this. And the fact that I'm doing it right now, like I'm my own hero. Let's just say that way. And I think for you, you know, you can also be your own hero. You just want to do something, just go do it, you know? Whatever it is. Don't overthink it. Start small and build yourself up, you know? And you'll get there. Yeah, so you want to be true to who you are, not true to what other people think you want them to be. A well-known phrase that I like is other other people's opinions of you is not your business. Other people's opinions of you is not your business. I'm building myself up. I think everything I could be doing a lot better. So this is what these 30 days is about, is to work on a few things, but I know the main ones I want to work on, and I made a list on those things. So they're actively gonna happen. I'm gonna project that into my life. It's gonna come. Raising your standard in life can be rough on yourself because you don't know what's your standard. You don't know what your standard is yet. And a lot of us, at least for me, I think in the beginning is like, what's my standard? And I think my standard is pretty simple. You want to get better than you were the week before, the 30 days before. And any challenge you have in life, you find out who's doing it better than you, and you get to know their process and you learn from them. So like for jobs, for instance, LinkedIn is a good tool. LinkedIn, you can go through someone's LinkedIn and see what their career progression looks like, and you could see like common patterns, and you're not you're not comparing sideways. You're more comparing in terms of, I don't think I use the word comparing. I think it's more inspiration, excuse me. It's you draw inspiration from someone that's better, or like that's achieved something that you want in your life. So you kind of want to get there. So how do you get there? By learning their patterns, because every pattern is like, you recognize their pattern. So pattern is essential. So once you know their pattern and what they have done in their life, then you can follow their route. That's simple. I'm not gaining anything by staying stuck. Comfort kills, like this is why, you know, this is why you have to go hard in the gym, because the gym is essential. The more you work out, the stronger you get, the better your life becomes, because you can withhold more pain, right? And pain, like there's a direct correlation from pain to growth, right? And I don't mean pain like like getting like physically hurt by someone or something like that. I mean pain as in like good pain. There's good pain and bad pain. We could probably talk about that for another time, but you can definitely see what I mean by that. Yeah, so I have to ask myself, am I choosing this even if I don't like it, or is this something that I want? So, and this is when you kind of do like a decision on the things that you want and you don't want. So like you cross out the things you don't want, and then you focus on the things that you do want. Like, and that's kind of a list. It could look like a table, literally. These are the things I don't want. You cross it out, and you write the things that you do want, right? Both simultaneously. Whatever is coming into your mind. Going through the process of school, and it was painful, but it was definitely something that helped me get to where I am. So school is important. Why I think school is important is because it teaches you a lot of things that you wouldn't be able to get taught in general. Math is important. English, reading, all these basic skills. These things are important. And if you're going into university like I did, you can also expand on that knowledge a bit more. So definitely believe that school is important. And so day 7, the voice. How do I talk to myself when no one's watching? So this is an important question, because instead of us criticizing ourselves and being rude to what we have going on, or maybe rude is not the right word, more like, or being very critical, like criticize yourself of what's going on in your life. Like instead of that, coach yourself through it. That's the main thing you should remember about you talking to yourself, your voice. And like Use your pen, use your book, like write down ideas. Sometimes seeing it is better than hearing it in your head over and over. So same concept. Like you have a table, the things you say to yourself, and the things you want for yourself. Do you want to focus? Because wherever focus goes, it grows, right? Like if you focus on the good things in life, then you're gonna get more of that. You're gonna go towards that. If you focus on the bad things in life, then you're gonna get towards that, right? So where's your focus? Who do you want to become? You want to be the person that doesn't want something or wants something to happen? So that's important. And I used to bully myself a lot because I used to compare myself to other people. Like someone else has more things than me, more, more opportunities than me, or like their parents gave them more than me, so forth, so forth. But you could train your self-talk to sound more like a coach than a critic, which is what I talk about, right? What's one thing your future self wishes you'd start saying today? My future self would always say how grateful they are for this opportunity to be alive. That's one main thing. And then the second thing would be like, my future self would say, keep going, man. You're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing exactly what you said you wanted to do. You're focusing on the crafts that will build your foundation, and you're focusing on the life that you want to live. So emotional reactions are patterns that I've been taught. Either it's through experience or through learning through other people or other methods as well, through obviously experience, like I was saying, trauma. And emotional reactions are like, it could go like this. And if you don't control your emotional reactions, then you as a human being can easily be influenced by other people or other things that are happening in life. So it's very important to be able to like be able to take your emotions and say, is this gonna serve me if I reflect or say something, or is this gonna like hinder me or hurt me more? If so, is it coming from a place of love, or is it coming from a place of for cry for help? So that's kind of like the outlet you want to, your like the thoughts you want to have, the questions you want to have when you're saying something. Is this serving me? Is this not serving me? How is it serving me? And if, yeah, so people essentially, whatever, if people tell you something, that's a reflection of them. That's what they believe in. That's their value system to say or think that way, right? If you look at value system and human needs, the value system the person has, you can see that and say, hey, that person's been living that life for a long time, and those thoughts they have is a reflection of them, not a reflection of you. What if every trigger was a teacher pointing to what's still unhealed? So it is. I believe if you have a trigger that's happening in your life, and it can be a small trigger, it's something that you need to learn to heal. So what is it that it's teaching you? Is it teaching you something, or is it like you're not learning anything at all? Is it something that you're actually, it's hindering you just in general, or it's, what is it? What's happening? Like why are you feeling a certain way? So you have to think about those thoughts that you're having and reflect on those, right? What's one trigger that you've been blaming others for that might actually be your own? So I've had many triggers in my life that I believe that I was blaming other people. Like my parents is one of the main things. I actually blame them for a lot of things that happened in my life. And looking back, is they did the best that they could, right? The best that they could. When I see it that way, it kind of helps you see, like, your parents are not God, right? Your parents are, they're human just like you, and they want to grow just like you, and they have patterns that they grew learning and they've learned throughout their entire life So those patterns are what they've grown into, and it's not your patterns. It's you have different patterns, and it's either you learn from their patterns and take those patterns to grow, or you don't take their patterns and become worse than them, or whatever it is. And what's worse, what's better, it's up to you to figure that out, right? It's not for me to tell you that. You have to know what you're looking to do in your life, right? So day 9, the mirror. So what are you finally ready to face? What am I facing right now? So mirror is a reflection of you, right? So what is a reflection of you is everything that you've learned in your entire life, everything that you've done in entire life. So if the mirror could talk, what would it say, right? And if you're listening to the mirror, you'll know what are the things that you can improve on, what are the things you can grow on, right? And I had a tough time because I never used to look outwards. I used to look, um, I never used to look inwards. I used to look outwards. Excuse me. So when you're looking at outwards, you're looking at your environment as the victim style mindset. And if you're a victim, then the only thing to think about is what's bad happening around me. What is why I can't do the things I want to do with my life, right? And I'll be honest with you, I was there. Like I was really there. I used to look at the environment and believe that the environment was the cause of where I am and why I am where I am. So that's a weight I've been carrying, and you know that was kind of fear. I was living in fear, like pressure, fear, like, and that's important that I made sense of that and figured out, this is it. Like I am living in fear. It's either I live in fear or I live in the moment and seize every opportunity that's coming to me. So yeah, I do listen to the mirror now. I look at the mirror and say, hey, you're not where you want to be. Okay, so let's work together. Let's coach ourselves through getting to where you want to be. Whether it's my physical body, the relationship I'm looking for, or the mindset that I want in life, and anything that's happening in my life, like I coach myself through that process. So it's quite important to reflect and know where you're at in life and accept that you're not where you want to be, but you have to work on things that you want to be. And life is so beautiful. Like if you really look at life, it's really beautiful because you can do something and you could start small and grow and build it up. And it's just so important to see life in that lens because if you don't take the chance to do the things that you want to do, then what's gonna happen is you're kind of gonna regret when you're older. Like I should have done this, I should have done that. And listen, if you mess up or you do something that's wrong or whatever the case, that's okay. It's part of life. It's part of life to make mistakes and to do things that may not be the right things in the beginning at the very least, and then you can grow from that, right? And even if you do a mistake down the road in your life, that's part of life. Like part of life is to learn from your mistakes and do better the next time around, right? So much people are looking at life as like, oh, I don't want to do any mistakes, it's not cool to try. But really, it's actually really cool to try because you can't judge someone for you can't judge someone for going at something fully and investing their time fully into their passion or whatever it is they're looking to do. So I urge you to join me and reflect on these 9 days and think about where you're at right now. Did you work on the things that you wanted to work on? Did you start looking at the small things that you could do better at? And if yes, then that's great. And if no, then, you know, you can start from the beginning, like build yourself up, you know, go from day 1 to day 9 again. Why not? Right? And build yourself up and do those exercises. Those exercises help me, right? I go through those exercises, and if there's something that I need to go through right now, and I'm going through something, I'm gonna go back through this 30-day exercise. If it's day one or day or you know like the first arc, the second arc, or the third arc, but the 30-day process, I'll be definitely doing that. So I'll see you guys in the next one, and I hope you all get value from this one. And if you did, join me in liking it and join me in commenting on it. Say, I'm here, I'm ready for the next one, or say what you want to say. It's no problem if there's something that you don't like with what I said, or there's something that you see that you kind of don't agree with me. You're welcome to join me in the comment section to have a conversation, a debate. I'll see you in the next one.